Hey there, podcast listeners. Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another podcast, episode 30, and the last Dr. Sheep podcast. But not the last podcast. But not the last podcast. We'll explain that in the later segment of the show. These podcasts are broken down into 4 parts. First, we talk about our weeks. Then we talk about the news, specifically the coronavirus news. Then we talk about your comments, the future of the channel, and then finally, we talk about some more news. Or today we have a philosophical question / just a thing we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Anyways, so I wanted to tell a story before you asked me a question before the podcast, and I was like, this is a perfect podcast material.
Oh, we're talking about this right now?
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was at the end.
No. We do this at the beginning now, remember?
Oh.
Do you not remember podcast 29? Okay. Honestly, how long podcast 29 was, I thought you remember.
Okay, so I'll bring up the question.
No, not that one.
Oh.
The one where I had a story about it.
Oh, that. Oh, how our weeks have been going? Yeah, and you said you had a story about bad breath.
Right, and you said that you ever had that moment where it just feels like your breath is bad?
Yeah, and I was like, I just need to go brush my teeth.
Well, back in, I think it was a freshman year or maybe sophomore year of high school. So we were making dishes in foods class. And
You don't call it FCS? You call it foods class?
because no, all we did was food.
Oh.
There was no consumer sciences. It was just food.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cooking. Call it cooking class.
It was more of food science, if anything, because we learned about all the stupid things that go into vegetables, all the phyto stuff. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyways, I didn't do very well on that. Huh?
Scoot it over.
Yes, I didn't do very well on that test.
Okay.
Anyways, I remember we made a dish with green onions in them. And I don't like green onions.
Okay.
But I guess they kind of taste like ranch.
I like green onions, but I get it. Some people don't.
But like, it was a really powerful, whew, all right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it tastes okay, but like, this is really powerful green onion. So then for the rest of the day, I was like talking like this because I was afraid that I could just, and it was just gonna hit them with green onion, with just onion, and they just be like, oh, dude. I'm like, yeah.
Sorry.
So, like, I think the next week we did another dish with, like, onion, and then I finally went to Walmart with my parents, because, I couldn't drive back then, and got some Lifesaver mints. Well, and, I had them in my bag. Well, then we never made a dish ever again with anything, like, aromatic. I think we did like maybe one time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as like that green
Never
onion,
again.
The dish with the green onion.
The one time you needed a mint.
The 2 times I needed a mint. I didn't have any, and I never need them ever again.
Oh.
Now I have mints in my truck every time I go to work.
Yeah.
Because if I don't brush my teeth before I go to work, I pop a mint.
Sure.
Because sometimes you brush your teeth in the morning. Well, now you just eat lunch and then you're going to work. Well, geez, I'm not going to brush 3 times in one day.
I mean, you can.
You shouldn't.
What?
You're only supposed to brush 2 times a day, otherwise you brush the enamel away.
Oh. Well, I mean, when I had braces, they told me to brush every time you eat, regardless of whether or not it's a snack.
I mean, that's a different situation.
I mean, but then again, braces do cover the majority of your teeth. So, I mean, whatever enamel is there, it's like it's covered. To an extent.
Yeah. And honestly, you can't brush very hard with braces anyways, can you?
Not for the first 2 or 3 days. After like the first, by the 4th day or whatever,
but like
you start to be able to brush normal.
But I mean, like, really, like, because
yes.
like some people really brush really hard and it wears their enamel.
You can.
away.
I have actually brushed so hard that the bristles have actually gotten stuck in the braces, like it pulled it out. Like you brush and the.
Then you have to go with tweezers and pull them out.
I know you can just pluck it out. I'm just saying though, like by the 4th day, you're going.
I'm so glad I never had to deal with that. I might have to in the future for my on teeth.
Oh yeah, I see that.
But that's like my brother, his bottom teeth are rough.
Really?
It's like nobody sees the bottom teeth, but I'm like, dude, those are bad.
Really?
Yeah, next time you see him, I guess it's gonna be a little hard for you looking up like this.
True.
I mean, next time you're like at the dinner table, look at his bottom teeth.
They don't look good.
They're rough. I'm like, why did you fix that? I was like, well, you can't see him in pictures, and I'm like, yeah, but you look like a hillbilly.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, I told the dentist, like, next time with the dentist, after that, I told him, like, listen, you know my brother, right? He's like, yeah, don't let my bottom teeth look like that. If you think they're going to start looking like that, we're getting me a clear liner. He's like, all right.
All right. You need to get a night guard. So your teeth don't shift during the middle of the night.
I thought I had that problem back when my jaw hurt.
See, I kind of wish I had one for my bottom teeth. Because, I don't know, like maybe within 20 years my bottom teeth might start to shift. I mean, my top teeth look fine. Because I have the same guard that I had when I first got my braces taken off. And it still fits. Which means my teeth have shifted hardly any since I got my braces off.
A night guard so my teeth don't shift.
So they don't shift during the night.
I should.
That's usually when your teeth will shift is during the night, you know?
That's a good point. Maybe I'll ask.
And I kind of wish, but I don't have one for the bottom teeth. Just one for the top.
Maybe I should ask about that.
But see, my teeth look pretty good, I think.
I mean, look better than mine.
Yeah.
Except yours are a lot tighter together. Mine have a lot more gaps between them.
Yeah.
Do you floss?
I have started to. Because when I went to the dentist, they said, you need to floss some more. Because I guess I had like some plaque buildup or whatever.
They always tell you to floss more.
It makes their life easier. I get it. It makes their life easier when they go to clean your teeth if you floss. Because they have all this plaque or whatever that builds up around the gums.
I'm starting to think the dentists have come up with like some new excuses to get people to floss. Because they've gotten me to floss. They're getting you to floss. They got Rooster to floss. I'm like, geez, the dentists are like making kills, getting people to floss.
How do you genuinely floss every day?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, ever since that jaw thing, I floss every day. Other than when remember when my jaw was like freaking hurt for like 3 months?
Oh, maybe.
And then I like died during Thanksgiving, and it went away because like Thanksgiving was great because hey, my jaw doesn't hurt anymore. Like great, but like the next day, I'm like, I am dying. I didn't go. I called in sick for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And it was Black Friday. I couldn't call in sick Black Friday, but Black Friday was like the worst day possible to go to work. I was dying. They're like, we'd just be walking around, and I just hunch over, and the guy's like, "You out of breath?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sick. I'm currently dying right now." And he's like,
"Wait, what did happen to your jaw though?"
Oh, they just said I must have like pinched a nerve or slept on it wrong, and then it just processed for like 3 weeks. I sprained my jaw.
You sprained your jaw.
Whoopsie daisy there.
What?
I'm the one slipping stuff now. I said some shh.
Oh, now we're gonna have to put you on probation.
This is my show. You can't put me on probation. This is my show.
The show will be put on probation.
We can't do that. This is one of the more popular shows. The parts have started to do better. Some of the parts do better than the normal podcast.
Really?
Yes. Like, whatever gets uploaded on, like, Thursday or Wednesday does really well.
People go specifically to a certain part?
Yeah. Like, what? Let me look at the thing here. Like, what, Thursdays or, like, Wednesday did really well. Yeah, they both did really well. Like, this one did 5, that one did 4. Am I getting the Galaxy S20 Ultra? Can math help
What are
with
these
dating?
views? 5 views? 4 views? Oh, these puny numbers. Single digits.
Hey, watch it next time. You're going to be on probation like Will.
Oh,
We're all in probation now. Fantastic. Anyways, but the normal podcast says 6. There's no views on this one. Hey guys, if you're watching, please go watch I Matched With Who on Tinder. It's got it's water. I'm like, what's going on down here? It's water. Okay. I spilled mine. It's got Pokimane on it. I figured that clickbait would work, but it didn't, unfortunately. But the regular video has 8 views. Now, granted, 2 of those are mine. The rest are like normal views. So
Yeah.
I sent it into Cody's lap. He didn't respond yet. I'm hoping but he is out Chicken Hole Base. You know, that's his property out in the middle.
Chicken Hole Base.
Yeah, that's his property out in the middle of nowhere where he's trying to replicate Mars. He lives in giant tubes.
Okay.
We'll have to watch it sometime.
Yes.
I like the series. It's a good series.
No, is it?
Yes, because he's gonna like live inside. He's gonna live underground and live in like these giant tubes. Yeah, no, just giant tanks that he's gonna put greenhouses in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Guys, if you subscribe, we can be like Cody's lab. Actually, if you subscribe, we can just go out and meet Cody's lab. We just go meet Cody Don.
Oh, did you ever get a response, an email?
Well, like I said, I just sent the email yesterday, but again, he's out at Chicken Hole Base, which is in the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
So it might take him a little bit. And he's been busy.
He's been busy.
Working on the base.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, he could respond today. Like, I think the last one he responded at like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. But, like, I've been watching the views. Because if I get any extra view, I'm like, well, it's probably him.
Yeah.
Because it's past the first day. The only other views are going to be me or maybe something random happens. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the dentist, they're taking kills, getting people to floss. It's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Kyle floss?
I'm going to be honest with you.
You don't think he brushes?
I have never seen him brush his teeth.
I've seen him brush his teeth.
Really? When?
What? I guess when we were like kids and we had sleepovers.
Yes. Since then, and over the past year, I have never seen him brush his teeth.
We also didn't live here for like 4 months.
Yeah, but on the weekends, though. He came over every weekend. I have never seen him brush his teeth.
I mean, you'll find out next time he goes to the dentist if he has cavities.
I mean, his teeth look fine. And he tells me he brushes his teeth, but I don't think he brushes them at night before he goes to bed. I think he brushes them in the morning, and then that's all he does.
But that's like the one... It's like, I brush every night, but I don't brush every morning sometimes. Sometimes I forget, sometimes
No, I think he just brushes in the morning.
How? That's weird. That's foreign to me because I only brush at night sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm too lazy. I don't brush at all at night. Or no, I don't floss at night now. Sometimes. And I'll just floss in the morning. I'll just floss twice that day.
Mm-hmm.
Although this summer, if I don't have any place to go and I'm not doing anything, I might get really lazy and I might not do anything. I might not even shower.
What?
I did during Christmas vacation. I didn't shower for like a day.
Oh, a day?
I guess it was like 2 days.
I've gone a week.
Because I showered one morning, didn't shower the next day at all, and then showered the next morning because I had work.
Oh, that's weak. I've gone like a week.
Why did you go a week without showering?
I didn't have anywhere to go. I was at home like for a several day weekend break or whatever from work and school or whatever. It was like, well, I guess I'm in the house. No need to take a shower, right?
Last time I did it, like, I used to just take... Shower's such a weird thing. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. But then you get in there, you don't want to get out.
Yeah, and then you get in there and you start cleaning. It's like, I feel so fresh now.
But you don't want to get out.
Nah, well, that's only if you, like, start to enjoy the hot water. And then when it gets cold, then you're just like, all right, it's time to get out.
I have a hard time forcing myself to get out of the shower sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't have to do anything. I can just stand here and just, like, let the water run over
enjoy the
me.
hot water.
Think.
Yeah, I do some thinking in the shower.
I always do my thinking.
How long of a shower do you typically take? 20 minutes? 30 minutes?
20 minutes. My roommates hate me.
Why, you take all the hot water?
No, I'm in there for like 20 minutes. Like, the hell are you doing in there? I'm like,
you know.
Shower. But, like, what pisses me off, there was one morning, they don't believe me. But, like, one morning, they each took a shower, and then I got in the shower, and it was cold. And they're like, oh, bullcrap, you're in the shower forever. No wonder it was cold. And I'm like, I literally had to turn it all the way to the left, which is completely hot. And it was barely warm. I'm like, bull crap. You guys used up all the hot water that morning.
It happens when you live in a house of 8.
Basically. Oh, no. I remember Rooster even said the hot water heater was new. It's not new. And it also explains why it goes... Doo, 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 doo. Although, ever since I've become deaf to it. I don't hear it anymore.
Really?
Like, I'll hear it once in a while when it's a really loud one, but otherwise, like, I've completely just... It doesn't even cross my mind. The air conditioner, or the heater, I guess, I still hear it, and it still bugs the crap out of me, because it's like, you're running, but I'm not warmer.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so how was your week?
I think it was good. Let's see. Anything bad happened? Don't think anything bad happened.
I mean, Lent started.
Oh yeah, Lent did start.
Give anything up?
I'm gonna try to reduce my non-productive computer time for specific hours of the day. It's like usually between like 5 and 7 o'clock at night or whatever. As soon as I come home from school or whatever, it's just like that's when I'm the least productive in terms of school. So I'm gonna attempt to make those hours the most productive homework time. That's my goal.
I said I'd stop turning stuff in the day it's due.
I don't know if that'll ever not happen. I mean, I have an assignment for Spanish due tomorrow. I haven't started.
So, well, I mean, it doesn't matter for you. You're going to do it tomorrow no matter what. If
Exactly.
you would have done it today or yesterday.
Yeah. Actually, I had an assignment. So yesterday, I had a 600-word Spanish essay due. I started it Thursday. Got about 100 words, 150 words done. And then I got the rest of the 500 some odd words all typed within maybe 3 hours, 4 hours.
Is it a 600-word minimum?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. 600 words minimum.
I wasn't sure if it was one of those professors like 600 words. No more, no less.
No. You can write more. But you had to write at least 600 to get full credit for that portion of the rubric.
You poor fools in taking Spanish. Poor Kyle takes Spanish.
Yeah, why don't you?
I don't have to.
Yeah, but like it could be beneficial.
No.
I have actually had a few instances at Hy-Vee where I've had people ask me a question in Spanish because I didn't speak English.
I mean, I've had people at my work ask me in Spanish.
Really?
But then we have a good laugh at my crappy Spanish.
What, did you actually like respond with anything?
Well, they start talking to me. I'm like, no hablo español. and you know, we're talking because I get somebody to actually translate. And I'm like, yeah, the only thing I can really say is yo no comprendo español. And this guy just starts talking. I'm like, yeah, see, we're getting a good laugh out of this. we start laughing and giggling about it.
Yeah.
I like the Hispanics. They're fun.
Yeah.
We have a fun time. We always.
But you just can't understand them.
Even when,
we have a fun time laughing about me.
Even the ones that speak perfect English, they're always just kind of a fun and go lucky kind of people.
Yeah.
Except when they have their kids there. Although when there's any kids there at work, I'm just like, please take your kids home. Why are they here? Please, I don't want to deal with this.
Jeez, you're gonna be a fun uncle.
No, like, I like kids. I just don't like dealing with kids as I'm trying to work.
Oh, fair enough. It's like, jeez.
Because they say something you do, and you're like, I don't know to respond to you because I don't want to feel like a pedophile, so go away.
What? That's what crosses your mind?
Like,
I don't know what to say
the weird thing is,
because I might come across as a pedophile.
But the problem is, though, like, kids like me. I don't know why, But like kids are just like drawn to me.
Because you think like one.
I don't know, maybe, I don't know. And so like I could sustain a conversation with a kid. Now I might not understand half the crap they're saying.
Yeah, your intellect isn't quite that high, but
no, shut up, screw you. No, because they talk so fast and they they mumble things together and you're like, oh okay, yeah, whatever.
I mean, you practically speak their language though.
Anyways, but like it's weird. You can sustain I can sustain a conversation. It must be like, how the hell? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't like it.
I'm fluent with children.
I don't like it.
I think like them. I act like them. I'm practically one of them.
Hey, it's good to stay young, but like children are just drawn to me. Like I convinced a bunch of kids.
You're a pedophile magnet. I knew it.
But no, I was in was a junior or a senior in high school. We were at a petting zoo.
Petting zoo.
We were
pedophile zoo.
we were running a petting zoo, and I was on a rolling chair, and these kids start pushing me, and I'm like, hey, you guys want to push my chair? And like they all kind of talk to her. I had like 10 kids pushing my chair at one point. I'd like, take me over here. They pushed me across the shop floor. And we just had the time of our lives. The teachers gave me this look, and I'm like, hey, I got them to do something productive, so, which is push me around in my chair. Everybody's like,
my chair.
Like, you
have your chair.
Well, in the chair I was in. And they're like, you are a child. And I'm like, I don't know, the kids just like me. But it's always been that way.
Yeah. No, like I said, you think like them, you act like them, you practically are one of them.
Whatever. Anyways. It's also the weirdest thing where you can just like... There are certain, like... So... I've never... Other than like one girl where I can just... I start a conversation and we talk all the time and we're friends. Otherwise, it's mostly only guys. I can just be like, make a joke, and then we all kind of go with the jokes, and we start talking. And then we're bull crapping.
Mm-hmm.
Or for a while. And this is in class or whatever.
Yeah.
Where I can't do it with women. They don't like my jokes.
Really?
I don't know. Or maybe they do, but they don't want to spark a conversation. Well, I guess the girl that sits behind me in my resource economics class, we get a good laugh together sometimes.
Yeah. No, like I told you, I mean, there's a few girls at my work that, I'll say something or whatever, make some smart comment or whatever, and that usually gets them talking.
That's 3 times now I'm going to have to edit. All right.
Smart Alec comment or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that better? Yeah, I make some comment or whatever, some joke or whatever. Sometimes it'll be a way to tease them slightly or whatever, and that usually gets them talking.
Well, that's how you just interact with them. You're just like, you like jazz.
But yes, but you make it sound like you make a comment or whatever, and like.
Oh, I do comedic reviews of my professors. I'll be sitting there, and the professor will say something, and I'll go over something, I'm like, yeah, what about this? And they're just like, and like this professor will say something, and I'm like, yeah, but, and I'll say it to the person next to me, and we'll get a good laugh. Sometimes I say it straight to the professor. I'm like, what about this, though? And they're just like, yes. Because sometimes, I think the professors think I'm really smart, but in reality, I'm just the only person willing to open their mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I pissed off one of my professors.
How so? So,
we're sitting there in class, and we're going over stuff I know.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I didn't care. And I just went and got help from my international trade professor, so I was working on her homework.
Yeah?
So I'm sitting there working on it, and the professor asks a question. Well, nobody asks, so I'm like, huh? So I look up and go, huh? And she's like, oh, you're not even paying attention. You're working on other stuff. I'm like, but I know the answer. She's like, anybody else? And she got really mad. She's like, what is that? I'm like, International Trade 420. She's like, I know that, professor. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I saw I saw you come in as I was getting help. You're next to each other. But she was really mad that I was working on this other professor's homework. So I stopped, and then I went after class and I apologized to her. But she's like, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to get you points taken off of that. I'm like, please don't. I don't think she was really serious, but she was pretty irritated by the fact that I was working on homework. But, like, I sat
This was a recitation, or what was
No, resource economics.
What is it, like a lecture?
Environmental, yeah, lecture.
And you're working on homework in a lecture class?
But see, it's the same lecture I've had multiple times. Because my...
Well, you've kept failing this class?
No, because I've taken environmental law.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about pollution, it's the same stuff. Public policy. Well, you go over pollution policy. So I've taken normal law, where we did go over some pollution stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken ag policy. That class had the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've had several classes now where it's the same thing. So it's like, it's just another class. But the problem is, though, it's a 200 level class. She treats it like a 300, but it's a 200 level class. So it's like, I'm taking 400 level classes and 300 level classes. So yeah, I should know the material, and I do.
That's good. You just should learn when to work on your homework.
No, I'm never bringing homework in her class again. Or if there is homework, I'm going to do it on my laptop, so it's like I'm taking notes.
Yep, there's...
Or to never just look up and go, huh, ever again. Oh, my econ professor. Okay, last story, before we move on to the news. Yeah. Because we've been doing this for like a half hour. The econ professor one day, I did the same thing. I went, huh? And the guy's like, yes, you, says my name. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, and I'm thinking he's like, kind of easing me in the answer. I'm like, oh, yeah, it'd be this. And I ramble off the answer. He's like, oh, good. And I'm like, all right. Well, the worst part is in class where I'm like not sure, and I'll say an answer, and the professor's like, yes, go on. And I'm like, but I'm not sure, but just go on. So I say it. I'm like, yes, you're correct. And I'm like, oh,
okay.
I was completely guessing, but all right. And the
economics is second nature for you. Is this macro?
This is micro.
Well, this is micro.
I couldn't do that in macro. I can do it in micro. I can't do it in macro.
Macro
I had to pay attention.
Are you in macro right now?
I'm in micro.
Or in micro? Micro is a piece of cake? Cakewalk?
So far, yeah.
Really?
Hasn't been that bad.
What's your hardest class right now? Or do you have...
International trade.
International trade. What makes that so difficult?
It's a whole ordeal. It's just, you have to... Like, normal... Like, when you learn the basics, it's pretty easy. Opportunity cost and comparative advantages.
Yeah.
But, like, when you start going in depth with it, like what we're doing, and, like, a VR, price deficiency, you're just like, all right, well, and then you have to, like, figure out what the graph would look like.
Oh, so it's a lot of, like, data analysis and stuff?
No, it's theory. It's like, if the price goes, if a country applies a tariff, which is like the first thing you learn, if a country applies a $2 tariff, so the world price is $2, their equilibrium price in the country is $5, so the country applies a $2 tariff to bring the equilibrium price in the country up to $5 to bring up consumer surplus, but that also shrinks consumer surplus, and then you have deadweight loss and government revenue.
I see.
All that was gibberish to you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I kind of dozed off.
Yeah.
Anyways. I have no idea where that went.
Time to move on to our next segment. Because we've been talking about this for 30 minutes. Get your mask on.
My mask?
Yeah.
Why?
It's our favorite topic.
Actually, I was going to do that for this podcast. Go over all of our favorite topics. Anti-vaxxers, like coronavirus. But I forgot. But then you brought up that thing, and I was like, oh, okay,
Brought up what thing?
For the end of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So. I don't think you should cough beside of these. What are you doing?
I was trying to figure out how this goes on. I think we're good.
Yeah. First death in the United States as coronavirus continues to spread worldwide.
Yeah.
Wow, that's concerning. All right, here's the latest. The novel coronavirus has killed more than 2,900 people. There have been more than 85,000 global cases with infections on every continent but Antarctica. Do you really have to say but Antarctica? Like, I don't think the 5 scientists in Antarctica are going to get the virus. And if they do, they're not going to be in Antarctica anymore.
I thought to some people Antarctica wasn't even a continent because of the fact that it's not inhabited.
Well, I mean, it's inhabited all year round now.
No, but like
But nobody stays
no one
there.
lives there long term.
Can we stay there long term after I need to become president? So
Because
that I
like
can go
usually
back
people are
home?
there for like what, a month or so for research.
Well, some people stay down there for a year.
Okay, a year, but they're not like making
Multiple
it
years in a
their
row.
indefinite home.
Yeah, people almost live on the space station longer than they do in Antarctica.
Yeah, until someone goes there to stay indefinitely.
You want to move to Antarctica with me?
I don't know if we can.
Why not?
Well, for one, I don't know what type of Motel 6 they have.
Motel. I'm saying we move there, not that we go there. I'm saying we move there.
Move there.
We have the Dr. Sheep podcast.
How cheap is rent?
You build your thing on ice blocks and you're done.
Uh-huh.
It's international. I don't know how international. Can you buy international land? Is that a thing? Could you build a house in Antarctica? That's the question. Or is it all like nature preserve? I want to do it on the coast. I don't want to like on the coast where some rock. I don't want to do it like in the interior.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place. The highest level of risk for the world with the Director General warning it could do it. So I think the funniest thing about this thing was Iran.
Yeah.
And I gotta take this off.
They were talking about how they they had just started to get cases, which we all suspect they have way more cases than what they're saying. But anyways, like they're getting a bunch of cases,
Okay.
and then the Minister of Health goes up there, and he's talking and he's coughing and sweating, and out of breath. The next day, he tests positive for the virus.
My gosh.
So it's like, okay, that's all right. So the guy, if a top government official has the virus, your country probably has a very big outbreak. Which wouldn't surprise me that Iran would be lying about how big the outbreak is in their country. I bet it's huge. I think
Bigger
it's-
than China.
No. I wouldn't say it's that big. I'd say it's pretty big, though.
Bigger than the Wuhan area.
Like, their death rate was, like, almost 100%. And I was just like...
What?
Actually, it was over 100%. Like, they had 13 infected, but... No, they had, like, 12 infected, but 13 dead. I was like, so these people are just dropping like flies. There's no way that these are, like... There's no way that's, like, all your infections. You have to have more.
Yeah.
You know what's one thing we haven't discussed in the podcast yet? The election.
Good.
Could.
We don't need to discuss.
Is that all you hear about?
What?
Like, around your friends, the election?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I think religion and politics is kind of a touchy subject. So
The coronavirus.
I think you'd scare away a lot of viewers
Yes,
If
or
you tell
1
them-
billionth of the population.
if you tell them what side you are. I mean, if you want to talk about, Catholicism or whatever, I mean, you're only applying yourself to, 2 billion people. What about the other, 5 billion?
I'm like Jesus. I'm a hippie. I'll take everybody. I love everybody.
Do you? There's not one person on this planet?
Oh no, there's somebody on this planet I strongly dislike.
Will?
No, but that's a good one. No, I don't strongly dislike Will.
You very much so.
No, I don't hate. I was just talking to What's-Her-Face about this, about how I don't have any hate in my life. And I don't. And honestly, I don't hate the guy. I might say it, but like, I don't hate him. I just really don't like him, and he really annoys me. I don't want to be anywhere near him, around him. I don't want to ever talk to him again.
Okay.
If I never see him again the rest of my life, I wouldn't be without anything. If I never hear his name mentioned ever again,
I'm getting kind of tired.
well, perk up. Well, that was a good 6-minute segment on the virus. Want to just keep moving along?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. There's not much to talk about the virus. I mean, people are dying. Whatever. We might get the virus.
Meme.
Actually, 4 new updates. What is this? Oh, first death in Australia. Oof. American Airlines is suspending some flights to Milan. Oh boy, now Milan's breaking out. South Korea reports another 376 cases. They're gonna die. Illinois announces another presumptive positive case of virus. No! No! 30. There are now 71 confirmed and presumptive positive cases of the virus in the United States. This includes 4. Oh, okay. The Diamond Princess. Okay, that doesn't really count. 24 main cases in Arizona, California, Illinois, Oregon, Washington, Wisconsin. It ain't looking too good. That's a little... Illinois is way too close for comfort. Anyways, time to talk about the comments and stuff, because that's going to be a big section. Next section of the podcast. Okay, H3 Podcast, My Corona Sting. This is at 552 views.
I'm sorry.
Wake up! Sit up straight. Otherwise you'll fall asleep again. Did you actually fall asleep?
I think I did doze off.
Guys, comment Sleepy Phil. Hashtag Sleepy Phil. Anyways, I can't read his name. I honestly... MAKUJH. Said, can't believe they didn't put this skit in highlights themselves. Thanks, man. Well, thank you. And yes, no problem. I do like this
My
video.
Corona.
My Corona.
Play it. Replay.
We can't hear it.
Oh.
You gotta play through the mic.
I have my earbuds.
I think I need to remember. So,
what?
I'm gonna like whisper into the mic. Tell me if you can hear it through the headphones. So, are your headphones bad or what?
What do you mean? No, I think the left ear is bad.
Oh. Do. All right, put them in. No, I'm gonna like tap on the mic and stuff. Tell me if you can like.
Yeah, I can hear that. I don't know.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this at all? Hello, Phil. Hello, world. Can you hear me?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Why? What do you want to test?
I don't want to know. See, the problem I'm afraid of is if we run this and
It echoes?
yes, because like we'll just run an aux cord out to a speaker. That's what I want to do.
It's only 11 seconds.
But like for like future stuff.
Oh.
Like when I come up with, but we'll get to that. Anyways, all right.
I think I did echo. I think I did hear you whisper.
Legit. My Corona.
It's so good, and then it's just like it ends way too quick.
Well, because it literally is the song "My Corona."
What comes on right after that? Like
I don't know.
How many? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know the rest of the lyrics to the song.
Wait, is it a real song?
Yes. We're not listening to it. Anyways.
Where did it come from?
My Corona?
No. Oh, H3 podcast.
Yes. They made this, but My Corona is a song.
Yeah.
I listened. It was at work the other day.
It was on at work.
Yeah.
My.
And I walk up to I think it was my manager. I'm like, this is untimely. And he's like, yes, this is it is.
My Corona.
Yeah. Anyways, next thing, Dr. Sheep. Oh, sorry. What is an alkaline metal? Zimmer Tracks sub to me. Now I saw he commented on one of my other videos, but it got blocked.
Who?
This guy, Zimmer Tracks sub to me. Big help. Please make more. Can we be friends? XD.
Yeah.
Well,
You saw he made another comment, but he.
yeah, so let me read it. I took a screenshot. I could, but it didn't say it. It was weird. Oh, Big Town TWC commented on another video. Big vibes. I must have. Oh, it got deleted.
What? What kind
Oh no, that was the Dr. Sheep podcast. Whatever. Anyways, I think we've already. Oh no, how did I miss that? Whatever. Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, Zimmer Tracks sub to me commented, amazing content. Please make more. Also, I want to be your YouTube friend, XD.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So if you're watching the podcast, you need Zimmer. You need to tell us that you're watching the podcast. So I'm gonna reply to him. How do you plan? Oh, okay. Sure, but how does that work? Question mark. Now, I don't want to call him a bot, but he could be a bot. We'll see. Sure, but how does that work?
Oh, he just responded.
He did not respond. Oh boy. All right. We've zoomed out too much now. Okay. Oh, we got a new subscriber this week.
Yeah.
That was nice. Thanks to them. They're 87.
Years young or years old?
No, they're the 30. This the 87th.
Holy moly! I'm tired.
I got a new follower on the Dr. Sheep Instagram just now. However, I wonder if it's not another bot.
You've been getting a lot of bots lately?
No, here's another one that did follow me yesterday, but they're another. They didn't. They're following the podcast. They're following the Instagram, but they're not on the YouTube.
The YouTube.
But maybe they will subscribe. I don't know. Well, I'll have to keep an eye on the subscriptions. But I thought did I miss a comment? Maybe he deleted the comment or it got taken down. The one about big vibes or whatever, that one. Anyways, yeah, we have some regular commenters now. The water bubble was going to comment on the last podcast, but he just never got around to it. He had all the stuff written down too, and I was like, "Damn, dude!" But he never did it. Hopefully, he'll do this one.
Oh, jeez. I just want to lay down and fall asleep.
No, stay awake. We're almost done.
Oh, okay. What's next?
The future of the channel. We're still in this segment. So, guys, I said this is the last Dr. Sheep podcast. This is the last Dr. Sheep podcast, but the podcast will go on. And from 2 weeks from now, we will be starting. Well, it'll be from when you're seeing this. 2 weeks from now, when you see this, we'll be starting a new podcast, TGIF Talks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get Rebecca Black to do the. I'm gonna use Rebecca Black. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. But I'm gonna 5 seconds, and then we'll play that at the beginning of every single one. We shouldn't get claimed. But if we do, I'm going to be really disappointed, and then I'll have to figure out, I'll have to get somebody to sing it, off key by a little bit, so that we won't get claimed.
Yes.
Yes, but then we'll have an intro song for the podcast.
Yes.
Also, big news, we're getting a guest. First of all, Will is on the next one. That'll be that'll be 31. TGIF Talks 31.
Yeah.
And then we have Outback, Hey,
Oh, sorry.
you did not. Dude, that was a fake one.
Was it?
Yes.
I don't think it was.
You literally went, and then I look over and you were out. I'm like, bull crap, you fell asleep that fast.
I don't know.
Stay awake.
It's
Be
hard.
ready. You do not know the day or the hour when the Lord is coming.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that song?
Yeah. No, I remember the song. I just don't know what happened. It's just all of a sudden
Stand up.
I
Do a
got
jumping. Do a
super
jumping jack.
tired. All right.
Get the blood flowing as I talk. Anyways, I got one of my professors. He's gonna come on for podcast
I'll
33.
go in the other room.
32 is Outback. What are you doing?
I'm gonna do some jumping jacks. I'll hear you.
I feel like he's just gonna go lay on a couch and pass out.
No.
All right, I can hear him doing jumping jacks. I wish we could see these.
No. I don't want you to see me doing jumping jacks.
The viewers do, though. Right, guys? All 7 of you? Anyways, I got one of my professors. He's coming on in podcast 33. Outback's on 32. Will is 31. And then after that, I don't have anybody planned, but I'm going to try and get Tiffany. She's the dean of the ag college at the university.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to get Ronnie Green, the chancellor of the whole university.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get our head football coach, Scott Frost. If we can get Scott Frost on the podcast, ultimate clout.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
No, I actually cannot.
Let me tell you this. If people find out we're going to have Scott Frost on the podcast, that's going to get so many views and we're going to get so many subscribers from that.
Do you think we'll get any hate?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure people hate the way I interview him. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get all kinds of hate. This is the internet, after all.
Yeah.
And I'll be here to read every single comment on this podcast.
All 100,000 of
Oh,
them.
I mean, we can't read that many comments.
We can sure try.
We're not going to. But yes, we're going to get Scott Frost on the podcast. That is the plan.
Yes.
Stepping stones. If we can't get Tiffany, well, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
So, Tiffany, I'm assuming you're watching this, or I hope you made it this far in this podcast. 29 is not the normal. I don't like 29 is not a good podcast. I hope we never repeat a 29 ever again.
29.
Where we talk about Tinder and the index.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching this one before you watch 29, don't watch 29. Please don't watch
29.
29. Please don't.
Wait, I thought we had a good conversation, though.
Yes, 29 was entertaining, but it was not a good side of us that I want the dean of the college to see.
Well, we're talking about how you define a date.
Not that. The other part of the index.
Oh.
Now you remember, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. Now I have to blow my nose. But also, I'm starting we're going to start a gaming channel.
You mean you are going to start a gaming channel?
Yes, and then I suppose Will and Kyle probably on. What are you doing?
I was mimicking that sound you're making. That is the weirdest nose blow I've ever heard. You're like,
Well, yeah, what you do is you blow, and then you squeeze your nostril, then you blow again, and then squeeze. And it helps get all the stuff out.
yeah, no, I know. It just sounded weird.
I'm also dying currently. I don't know what's going on.
I'm dying too. Aren't we all?
Yeah, oh, okay, whatever. But that gaming channel isn't going to be connected to this channel at all, because I'm going to allow swearing, name drops.
Sweet. Name drops?
Yes.
Even yours?
Yeah, because it's because of the gamer tag on my Xbox, and I don't want to change it. Because it's my name. And literally no one else has it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to create another Xbox account because that's irritating. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's fine.
I'll just leave it the way it is. All right.
Yeah.
That's the future of the channel. That's what's going on next. So, it's time for your segment. Get off Tinder.
Okay.
Your sorting system for people on Tinder it baffles me.
All right, we've maxed it out.
Good. All right. Time for you to focus because this is your segment now.
Oh yes, it is. I better stay awake for this.
Well, if you don't, then it's a. I don't think the viewers are gonna stay awake. Personally,
All right. So the question.
is your friend asked you it.
What?
Your friend asked you this or what? Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
I saved it in the chat.
oh, that's me.
Oh, yeah. Does this not look like you? I'm sorry. Is this not you?
No, it is. I just didn't. I couldn't see it from here. You know, bad eyes.
Good. So the question. For the remainder of the next, 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, we'll go for an hour if we can get there.
Go for another hour?
No. No.
I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood.
No, we'll try and hit an hour. Hour
Okay.
5, hour 10.
Okay. So the question was whether or not all emotions that we feel can be solely represented by just chemical processes that go on in the brain. And if memories, because memories are obviously connected to emotions, can take on a non-physical form. Because if memories take on solely a physical form, then that means that
emotions
emotions are only represented by chemical and physical processes that go on within the brain. That is the question. Is there a non-physical component to emotions and memory?
Do you remember the old CSX commercial, CEX?
Maybe.
Where it literally starts with love is a chemical reaction.
Yeah?
You remember those?
No.
Let me see if I can't find it. Come on.
Yeah, but see, no, that's a good point, though. Like, what is love, though? Is that all it is? Is just a biochemical reaction in the brain? Is that all it is?
Oh,
Or is there more to it?
There we go. CSX, CSX. Yes, CSX commercial. 2011. Is this it? No, this is not it. Okay. Maybe it wasn't CSX. It was CHI, maybe? There was a chemical company. Love is a chemical reaction. That's Rick and Morty. Love is a chemical reaction commercial. Nope. 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 Cannot find it. But I remember the ad started with love is a chemical reaction.
Okay. And then where did it go from there?
I don't remember it. That's all
Let's
I
say
remember.
You and Your Brain and Marijuana by ASAP Science.
Yes, they have lots of that kind of weird stuff. I don't watch ASAP anymore.
Why?
They irritate me.
How so?
7 years ago. Holy crap. I thought that was recent.
How did you just don't like the way they've gone? The direction they've taken?
Yes. Honestly, a lot of the science communicators are starting to bug me.
Oh yeah.
I still like Vsauce.
Including, what about Dr. Sheep? Does that goon type?
I think we're going in the right direction. I think we're doing stuff that's gonna.
I
That's
thought it
gonna.
was bothering you.
No.
It's bothering me.
What are we doing that's bothering you?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, so back to the question though.
I think. Okay, so the question is, do we have a soul then?
I mean, that's part of it. I mean, do you think emotions are just dopamine, serotonin, and whatever else? Is that all it is?
See, the spiritual part of me wants to say, I hope there's more, because if there is a spirit, that means there might be some sort of afterlife.
Yeah.
But the problem with afterlife is, and we've discussed this before on the podcast,
Have we?
which is, I guess it's another thing we could talk about. Well, the favorite things we like to talk about on the podcast is anti-vaxxers, the coronavirus, and death. What happens after death? And, that means there is an afterlife. Maybe, if there's more to emotions than,
Yeah.
But the problem is, though,
follow.
the afterlife, what's the point? You're not doing anything. You're not working towards anything. It's just you're existing to the end of time. I just don't like that idea.
Sure.
I like the idea
Fair
of
enough.
immortality sounds a lot more appealing, because at least if you're immortal, like, your brain can only store so much information. So every 100 years, you kind of just do a refresh. You wipe most of everything. You kind of like reflash the BIOS.
Yeah.
You kind of forget everything, so you go back to school, learn a new trade.
Yeah.
You work up through a new job. You kind of remember what you used to do back in your old life,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep going.
Yeah.
Meet some new people, go new places. Like, that's my kind of immortality. That's what I want out of immortality,
Sure.
And 9,000 years, that's not, what is it, 9,000 years divided by 100? That's, what, 90 different lives?
Yeah.
You can live 90 different lives. That's if we don't figure out how to prevent yourself from dying at 9,000 years. Because at 9,000 years, the probability of you getting struck by lightning and all these things happening to you is like 100%.
Sure.
If we can figure that out, then 90 different lives or infinite numbers of lives. And you can go across the cosmos. Because, by that point, humans will be... That's what I want life to be. That's what I want to happen. That's what I want to do. I don't like death scares me so much, and there's just so much uncertainty there. But back to your question, though. If there isn't a spiritual aspect, then good. Because that means that it is possible to basically take all the stuff in my brain and download it.
But see, I don't think it's just a spiritual. I don't think it's just a question of is there just a spiritual. I believe there's almost like a metaphysical, mental aspect to the brain that we don't know and we never will know. Like this extra, not even like a dimension, because dimensions are physical, and we could maybe one day figure out some way to maybe it is another dimension, but basically I believe that there's the mental aspect of it. So there's physical, which is everything around us. Right? There's spiritual, which is heaven, hell, all that. But then there's mental. And so when you die, you lose your connection with your mental aspect. It gets cut off. Okay? But everything you store, all your memories, are stored within this metaphysical form. And so basically, your memories that you create within your synapses and your dendrites or whatever, those are like the axis, the gate points that your brain uses to pull out of. And so when something goes all wrong with the brain, when your brain no longer makes that connection, it's like a door that it can't open. And so you can no longer access that memory. Because to me, I think about what is a memory, right? We can describe how a memory forms, right? We have a beautiful description of how neurons and all these, and how they fire in how a memory can be formed. But really, what is it though? What is it represented as? Because like for a computer, right? That's just a string. That's not even ones and zeros. With the computer, it's whether or not a resistor is in the on or off state. That's what a memory is for a computer. But what is it for a brain? Because I don't think it's just electrons.
But why wouldn't it be?
I mean, no. Okay, electrons are like the axis. It's like the keys. But I believe that what a memory is is metaphysical.
But why would it need to be that? Why would evolution make that?
That's just the way it is.
But is it only humans? Is it only because of consciousness? Or do dogs and cats and whales and other complex life forms have that
Do they
as
think?
well?
No, I think the question is, do they think? Do they have a consciousness? Yeah. And
The answer is no.
no,
Of course not. They don't. I mean, maybe they.
I don't think so. I think we think on a higher order than them. But I think they have their own mental, metaphysical dimension too. Because dogs learn, they have associations, they have memories. They clearly can associate, getting food. When the owner calls for them, they're like, when their name's called, they know, hey, I'm getting food. That's a memory associated with a past event.
But that's just like reacting to a stimuli.
Okay,
though.
here's my big point that I want to make though. If I had some supercomputer, like this most advanced thing that could scan your entire brain and map out every single neuron, every single aspect of your brain down to the electron, okay? Every single thing about your brain.
No, you can only go down to the atom. You can't go down.
No. It's a thought experiment, okay?
Oh.
Forget about that. It's a thought experiment, okay?
Sorry,
If I-
Heisenberg.
If I had some supercomputer that could scan your entire brain, map out everything, real-time footage, okay? And we're looking at your brain, and it can see down to the electron, so it knows the state. The spin up, spin down state of all the electrons in your brain. And I hook that up to someone else's brain. Okay?
Okay.
And I asked you to remember of an event in your life. Okay? All of a sudden, these cables then input a signal to my brain, activating that specific region within my brain. And would my brain remember that event that you did the same way? Likewise, would the emotions, because when you remember something, you can have that emotion, you can have adrenaline, okay? Right? So you're going to have adrenaline flush through your brain as you remember this exciting or, horrific incident that happened in your life. If my brain then had that same impact, so it sends a signal to then flush adrenaline or whatever to that specific aspect of my brain, would I feel the same way that you would, remembering that event? Would I remember the event the same way you would? I don't think I would.
I think you would. Other than down to the emotion, because the way I feel happiness or the way you feel nervous, and when I feel nervous are two different things. So I'll feel it the way you felt it. But I'm like,
putting emotion aside, I don't think I would remember it the way you. I don't think I would remember. I don't think I'd see anything. I don't think there's anything to see. I don't, because here's the other aspect.
Well,
What distinguishes a different memory?
But now you're saying we can't read minds.
We can't. No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But they actually they're actually working on that though. They can read what the mind's thinking.
Okay. Here's the other thing. Okay, so we can map out how a memory is formed. How do we distinguish a new memory? So we can map out the brain and say, okay, the neuron fires, it sends some signal. Okay, a connection was formed. Looking at that connection, how can you distinguish what it is? Okay, like let's say, a teacher shows you a math problem.
Yeah.
Then the next day she shows you a new math problem.
Okay.
Those are two different memories. One memory is a teacher showing you how to do a math problem this way. The other memory is a teacher showing you a math problem to do it this way. Okay? Now, when you remember that event, it's going to be roughly the same part of the brain. Okay? The parietal lobe or whatever lobe is associated with math, prefrontal cortex, okay? That part of the brain, the neurons are going to interact, okay? Now, if I look at those neurons of your brain as you made that connection of that event of the teacher showing you this math problem, how can I look at that and say these are two different memories?
Well, because neurons make so many different connections. It's not like it's this. Even though a computer can't write to the same transistor, the brain can write to the same neuron, but the neuron can make a different connection to write a different memory.
What do you mean? A neuron connects to another neuron.
Yeah, but it can connect to multiple different neurons. And
That just makes the connection stronger. That just makes you more likely to remember the event.
But it also connects to different ones, though. So, like, okay, one memory might connect two different neurons. Well, another memory might use one of those neurons, but it'll use a different one that one of the other ones is connected with.
But how does that make an event, though? I don't get how. Okay, I get what you're saying, but how can I look at that and say, okay, looking at this, I can now draw or analyze that data and make some type of picture of what that memory would have to look like?
Right now,
I'm asking, is that possible?
well, right now, what we're doing is we have people, they look at a picture and they think about the picture. Like, okay, they look at lips.
Sure.
All right. And they associate what part of the brain with lips and what
Okay.
those lips look like. And
Okay.
we associate with that, okay? Then eyes, and then hair, ears, different facial pieces,
All right.
okay? And we and we have an AI that associates those different parts of the brain
Okay.
and when they light up and how they light up in reverse to like what the lips look like and what the eyes
Okay.
look like. Okay? And then now we have them look at celebrities' faces.
Okay.
And the AI tries to draw the face based off of the data it collects.
I follow.
Now the faces on some of them are nowhere near what the face is, but sometimes it
So
get the color correct,
Okay.
which is kind of spooky in that itself. Like, oh dang, it got the color right.
So it's looking at different lips, like all these different shapes and sizes, different eyes, all these shapes and sizes.
Not the AI, you are. The AI is
Yeah,
only
no,
looking at your brain
okay.
data.
You are looking at all these different lips. So 50 different lips, 50 different eyes, 50 different noses, 50 different ears, facial structures. And they show you some celebrity. And based off of how the brain lit up during all these different interactions, this AI can now draw a picture resembling somewhat the celebrity that you were looking at.
It could get the skin color right on some of them, anyways. It really couldn't get much more than that. Maybe the eyes once in a while, but that.
What about the facial structure? Does it look anything like it?
Not always. It might, if it's a more masculine face, it might get that, but sometimes it'll even go feminine. But again, though, it's like no one's doing this. It's one guy in Japan, and it's like the early days of the stuff they're doing here. No one's ever done this before, and they're using it to eventually read dreams. It was this was in one of Vsauce's videos.
Was it?
In the premium.
Oh.
That's where I got this from. Yeah.
Huh. Which one was it?
I don't remember.
I kind of want to watch this one now.
Maybe season. I have no idea what season it was in. Probably season 2 or 3.
But see, yeah, that kind of go against what I was saying though, how it's not
But
metaphysical.
I mean, but again though, if the AI can never figure it out, and it's never able to figure out, which is unlikely, because I think even I think what'll happen is the AI will get smart enough, but the data will never be clear. The AI will just be smart enough to be like, oh yeah, that's what he's thinking about. Because the AI
that's the thing.
becomes assumption.
The
Makes
AI would start to
assumptions.
guess. Yeah, but it would become smart enough to guess what he was looking at.
If you program it that way, though, if they don't, and it's just purely based off data, then maybe we'll start to see a pattern. But if we don't start to see patterns, then no, you can't. What you're saying is true. But if the AI can't assume, it can't think for itself, it can't, or at least think in that way, then, but yet it's still able to draw pictures.
But see, okay, I get what you're saying. But I guess my question is, what if I showed okay, lips. It lights up a certain portion of the brain, right? Mm-hmm. What if I found something else? Not even that doesn't even look like lips. Say, I don't know, a hot dog bun or something. But it lit up the same region of the brain. Could I trick the AI into thinking that instead of looking at lips, you're looking at a hot dog bun? That is where I draw the line. I don't think it could distinguish that.
Well, currently it can't. But that's to say, though, the exact neurons in the exact pattern, in the
But I
exact
don't think-
same way.
but-
is it possible?
But see, that would be saying that everyone's neurons and brains are all wired the same.
But they're not genes.
Exactly. No, but if we say these specific neurons are associated with lighting up when you see a hot dog bun versus lips, I don't think it's universal for every human that certain neurons are going to light up, because we already know that if you sever the brain in half, the other half can still make up for what the other half lost. We already know the plasticity of the brain to that extent, meaning that all of a sudden all these things that were not associated with the other half of the brain now figures out a way to remap itself and associate itself with those things. The brain is amazing. There's so much about it that we don't know, and I believe that we never will know.
Well,
And so I guess what I'm trying to get at is that all these neurons are really just pathways, keys. You need all these neurons to interact within a certain way to open this specific lock and unlock this memory. For something that's really difficult for you to remember, some like absurd math equation or whatever, it really takes a lot of brain power. You need all these neurons to be interacting and working together to open up that door and allow you to remember something. And so I believe memories are metaphysical. We can represent how they're created and, to a sense, where they're stored. But what they are, we don't know.
this is only if and only if, so this is a calculus question, essentially. If and only if the dream experiment fails.
Yeah.
If the AI can never figure it out,
Yes.
then we know no. But if the AI can figure it out and it's not assuming, then we know that it's not metaphysical. Then we know that the neurons are working just like transistors. That a neuron gets specifically mapped to this. But we know that, though, because the folds in the brain, the more folds you have, is associated to your intelligence.
Because, like, think about it this way, right? We already know we can look at a flash drive. If you were to look at the atomic level of the flash drive, all right, now granted we don't have computers this complicated yet, but if you were to look at a flash drive and look at all the molecular components, the spin states of every single electron, you could map out all the information on that hard drive.
Well,
That's literally how a computer works.
I don't
The
think you
computer's
need
reading
to
it.
spin. I don't think you need to spin.
I think you do for RAM. For RAM, you definitely would.
Why RAM?
Because isn't
RAM
that?
is only stored in capacity. RAM is just,
But it's random. It's random access memory though.
but it's random.
So
in the fact that the
if you
computer,
miss,
but
no. But when the computer shuts off, the spin states get messed up.
well, no,
and
the
then,
capacitors turn on. The capacitors. What RAM is? It's special because it's transistors with capacitors.
Yeah.
And RAM is interesting from what I understand is what random access means. Like storage, the computer goes and talks to the control chip. The control chip's like, okay, let me search through the drive to find what you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay, and it'll search through it and it'll find it. And once
Okay.
it finds it, it takes it. Where random access memory, the computer doesn't have time to wait for that to happen.
Okay.
Because the RAM does technically have that, but because of the way the RAM and the memory controller work, it can do it much faster because it's not not
Okay.
hindered
Well, what are
in
you
such
trying to
a
get
way.
at though?
It's not spin. It's
not spin.
actual transistors and capacitors that are holding
No.
a charge.
Yes, but you have to. So you're saying you could just look at the electrons and know what's stored on the device, where the electrons are placed.
Yes.
You don't think it needs spin at all?
No, because that would imply that an individual atom could store multiple bytes.
But see, I thought it was like spin up,
Bits.
spin down. Could represent, multiple states. Oh no,
On a qubit.
Oh, that's qubit. Yeah, it's qubit.
I was like, I think you're thinking about quantum computers, where an individual atom can represent multiple qubits.
Yeah. But anyways, so it's the same idea though for the brain though. If you could look at all the different electron states, okay.
You're asking, is the brain a quantum computer?
Well, in a sense, that is what the question is looking at. But yeah, if I were to look at your brain and all the different quantum states, could I know what you have stored in your brain?
I don't think you need the quantum states. I think looking at the electron placement.
Okay,
yes.
so sure, just look at the electron placement. I
Yes.
could know what you have stored on your brain.
If you
I
could
think
read
it's
it.
absurd.
But if you could read it, though.
Okay, yes, assuming we could read it. I think it's absurd. I don't think you could.
If there's no universal language between brains, which there's a very real possibility it's not, but a very real possibility it is, because there's so much in genetics that we just don't know, and how the genes play a role.
Yeah.
There very well could be an underlying language to each brain.
Yeah.
Which is why, I mean, people tend to think the same way sometimes.
Well, I guess here's another thought experiment, okay? It doesn't really have to do with computers. It kind of does have to do with computers. Maybe you heard about it. It's, can Mary see the color red? So let's pretend.
Oh, no, not this question. So this is like my philosophy video, but what is color?
Maybe.
Where we ask, just because you see that bucket, okay, we both say that bucket's red, over there in the corner.
It's in that similar direction, okay? But the way this sets up, it's kind of an unethical situation that I set up, okay? Let's pretend I take this child at birth, and I put him in a house that's completely blocked out from the outside world. All the windows are black, but the lights, everything is black and white. The walls are black and white. All the books are black and white. There's no color. Nothing in the house is color. And in fact, this child, I don't know how this could happen. Maybe you paint its skin white or something. It's completely unethical. I get it.
Somehow you'd have to manipulate the eye color too.
No, they couldn't see their eyes.
Oh,
there would be no mirrors. There'd be no mirrors.
Oh.
So
that's gonna be moles are gonna be a tough challenge.
anyways, setting the unethics aside, okay, it's living in this black and white room for its entire life. Let's say up until the age of 18. Okay? And all it has to read are these black and white books about color. Okay? It can read. This child will be able to read everything there is to know about color. All the information in the world about color is right at his fingertips. Okay? Let's even say, for example, emotion is physical, right? If emotion is physical, I can know how it makes you feel to see a certain color. Maybe it's a dopamine, okay? If I give you dopamine or whatever to this part of the brain, I can make you feel like you see this color, okay? And as you read everything there is to know about a color, red is hot, okay?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, eventually when the child's 20 years old, okay? I open the door. I take him outside, okay? And I show him this red brick wall. I say, that color right there, that is the color red. Would the child be surprised by the color that he sees before his eyes? If he has all the information at his fingertips before he saw that wall, he should know what the color red should look like before he saw it, assuming all information is physical.
It's not possible.
When he sees this wall for the first time, this red brick wall, he should be like, yes, I know that's a red brick wall. I know how it'll make me feel, and I am not surprised by that color.
Not possible.
Exactly. That is what I'm saying.
Because Do you remember from How I Met Your Mother? And Ted Mosby didn't know how to say encyclopedia. He said encyclopedia because he only read it. He never actually heard somebody say it. And so when he actually heard somebody say it, he's like, wait, you're saying it wrong, I thought. No, he was saying it wrong.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, but they'd have no way to perceive red or blue or yellow. They can read about them, but they have no way to perceive it.
Okay, but let's say that, in a sense, if memories are physical.
Blind people can't see color in their memories.
No, they can't. Blind people see black and they hear, and their dreams are sounds.
Yes, unless they weren't blind before.
Yes. I've actually read forums about that because I was curious. Whether or not they see shadows or whatever in their dreams. Now it's black, and their dreams are just sounds. They don't dream in color. Because I just found that so strange to think about. And so I actually looked it up one time. I was curious, and no, blind. According to the forums I've read, all people that were blind that reported their stuff on this forum or whatever said no. I have never had a color dream. At least I don't know what a color. It's all black, or what you would call black.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing to the dream.
Do blind people see black or white, or do they see nothing, or like what?
They don't know what they see.
Oh.
Think about it. Blind people don't know what they see. How can they tell you what they see?
Oh, that's awful.
Do they see black or white? How can they tell you what they see? Because they don't know what a color is.
Well, okay, people that
if they've never seen a black crayon, they've never seen a white crayon, they can't tell you what they see.
People that weren't blind before, what do they see?
I don't know.
What? No, we asked them. This could literally solve the question.
Probably black.
Just ask those people what they see.
Probably black. I don't know. You'd think it'd be black because black would be the absence of light. No light is being transmitted to the retina for the brain.
Or maybe the retina's just firing on all cylinders all the time.
Oh yeah, there's an option. There's maybe some guy out there, some anomaly that's constantly seeing just white. Yes. Okay.
Why not?
Anyways, let's say for example, okay, we have two cases. Okay, one case where you're only allowed to read about everything. Another case where maybe I hook up these connections, these wires to your brain. This other example, how I said, could I remember the same event you did, right? If I wire someone's brain up to this person who's never seen color before, this person who was raised in this house, this black and white house, and I wire his brain up to another brain that's been seeing color, red brick walls his whole life, and I ask him, imagine a red brick wall. The blind person would have a memory of this. Ergo, when he walks outside, he should not be surprised. That's what you would argue. He would not be surprised. Because he would have someone else's memory to go off of when he saw this.
Well, yeah, someone else's. Like having a picture.
But I don't think it works that way. I don't think it can be done. Now, how you'd even wire it up to begin with, I don't know. I don't even think it could be done.
Well, you have to wire every neuron.
Yeah.
But again, though, every neuron associates in everybody's brain differently.
Exactly.
Well, that we know of. There could be an underlying language that everybody's brain runs off of, which would make sense. Otherwise, in my opinion, because like the brain has a basic structure, and the lobes, we know, communicate with everybody roughly the same way. Yeah. So there has to be an underlying language there.
You have your
Otherwise, you couldn't function. Your brain would have to, you'd be bored. Your brain's just like, okay, figure out the instructions yourself. Figure out how to run the most complicated computer of all time. No instructions. It can't.
We do know that the prefrontal cortex is more equipped to handle abstract thinking. We know that. Because we can see that's the region that everyone's lobe seems to light up when asked to think of something abstract. It's that aspect of the brain. But I don't know. I don't think they would see the color red. I think they would be surprised.
Well, they'd see whatever they saw as the color red. That's the thing.
I'm saying I don't even think the experiment would work. I think that whenever you try to ask them to imagine this event, I don't think anything would happen.
I don't think you can wire brains like that.
Well, yeah, so obviously that aspect.
Wire brains together like that, I think you could download somebody's conscious into a computer and then have their brain access that computer. But that'd be more of like a file system, basically.
Yeah.
But
Because
again, though,
I'm
need to
curious
underline
if you had all 7.8 billion people, or everyone who could see the color red, talk to this person about what a red brick wall looks like,
it's
all the emotions that it made them feel. Could they have a sense of what the color red is?
no.
Never.
They might associate it with warmth, but that's it.
See, that's the thing. They've never seen the color. They've never seen anything.
They would know. They could associate the word red with warm, but that's it.
Yes.
That's all they can associate it with. And yellow, they can associate it with whatever the sun would look like. Bright. Warmth. That's all they can associate.
Yes.
But they can't say like what that would look like. And they have
They've
no
never
way
seen
to
the color,
picture
yes.
a color. However, do you have to paint if you control what books and information they get, do you necessarily have to paint their hands?
Well, yeah, they look at their skin. I mean, you can just see like you have this different.
But if the books never describe skin color ever,
Yeah, but I feel like now you're starting to cross a point, though. Like, I mean, they'd have to know there's two different colors. There's white, there's black, and there's this. What is this? They'd have to. I want them to know everything there is to know about color.
but I don't think they have to know.
Now, for this experiment, though, I want them to know everything there physically is to know about
They'd
color.
still be
whether or
surprised.
not it matters or not. I want them to know everything there is to know.
I mean, they'd still be surprised.
Yeah.
If you leave out skin color, and they can still see their skin color and their eye color and their mouth, provided you don't
There's no
give them
mirror.
any information that associates mouth color with like an apple or something, then maybe they can picture, okay, an apple looks something like my mouth color.
I mean, obviously, it's very unethical. Like, how are you going to feed him or whatever? Okay, it's very unethical. But
Oh,
the
I
po-
forgot about food.
yeah, the point of the matter
Crackers.
is, it's an unethical experiment. The point of the matter is, I don't think even if you were to give him like,
Can I volunteer my child? If I get the right wife, can I volunteer? And she agrees to volunteer. Can we volunteer my kid?
no, but see, like even if I were to send like chemicals to the brain, like if I sent certain parts of your brain, a chemical, a dopamine or serotonin or whatever, to different aspects, making certain parts of your brain light up. That's it. Okay, what if I made certain parts of your brain light up when someone saw the color red? So what if I asked you to see the color red? Imagine the color red. Imagine the color red on a brick wall. Okay, and I mapped out exactly where everything was lighting up.
Again, this is
Okay?
the same idea.
And then-
if brains are the same,
Yes. Okay, if brains are the same. Then
then yes,
Then yes. So then I went to this brain.
because
And I applied these chemicals to these specific parts of the brain, making these specific parts of the brain light up in precisely the same way.
Yes, because it's like an operating system. If there's a universal language,
They would have
the
an emotion
computers-
associated with red.
and they
and
could
a memory.
picture a brick wall in their head. The same, they have the same image you would, if brains had the same language. That detailed of a language, I should say. Brains do have a language. We just don't know how detailed it is.
Yeah. See, in my opinion, it can never be done, and it can never be known. It's just that.
Right now, I think if there isn't a metaphysical, I think we could do it. It's
We
only a
could,
matter of
yes.
time.
It would only be a matter of time. But that's just the thing. I believe it is metaphysical. I believe that there is, because emotions are connected to memories.
I think the AI.
You when you when I give you something, when I give you the specific chemical, okay, you would have a different memory associated with happiness than I would.
Yes.
You'd have a different memory associated with sadness than I would.
Yes.
But growing up, we associated sadness with emotions, with how they made us feel. And these feelings are associated with memories. We remember things because of how they made us feel. And how they made us feel comes back to memories. And these memories, I believe, are metaphysical. And so, in turn, I don't know where I was going with that. We can never...
You're a broken record right now. You just keep saying the same thing.
Well, no, I forgot where I was going with this.
Well, we are at an hour and a half.
We are.
With that conversation kept going. Right. Let us know in the comments. Either way, literally the first half of this podcast will literally be summed up in about 30 minutes. The rest of this...
Yeah.
This one segment will be longer than basically all the other segments combined. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New TGIF Talks every other Friday, 2 p.m. Central Time. And good night.